Yeah, ayy. I got the kicks like I'm Draymond. I'm thinking soon as I wake up, how I'ma give me this paper. I got them bars like I'm Quaker. Purple.
Welcome back, guys. Crazy Blade back with another video. Third time trying to record, so please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on that notification so you get notified every time I make a video. So what are we talking about in this turn of events? Well, we've already discussed about Midas and his plans of Doomsday and how they're actually all coming into operation soon. But what I'm actually here to discuss about is how Midas actually decided to propose a truce with everyone. Well, you may be thinking, well, you're gonna have to go into detail, Crazy Blade. What do you mean by truce? Well, I'm actually gonna play this trailer for you guys and you can see what I'm talking about yourselves. I'm gonna explain it all after. So, Midas decides he needs a truce. So what does he decide to do? So, what do we know? Well, we know that Midas in the past had all these agents to help him, but abused his power and they all decided to actually abandon him. But that's not all what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I'm also going to be talking about how Peely, Brutus and Meowscles actually decided to create the Shadow Organization as a way of stopping Midas. You might be saying, well, the Shadow Organization doesn't make sense, because haven't you been saying that they're the bad guys the whole time? Well, my theory is that... Okay, so what is my theory? Well, what doesn't make sense in the trailer is how Midas actually gathers agency members of Ghost and agency members of Shadow to all meet up. And as we know, you can get to select what agent you get and whatever, but that still doesn't explain why both of them are all in the same room. Unless if you gather your enemies together and present them all in a room. Well, let me break it down from here. So Midas, as we know, you get to design your characters and all stuff like that. But then these people started to wonder what's going on and why are random stuff starting to happen, and they start to wonder if Midas is actually the right boss that they should be working for. Well, what if I told you that Sky along with TNT are the only two people who actually trust Midas? And let me basically explain. So Brutus, I talked about this in my previous video, which was yesterday, which is how if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you can actually see that Brutus has decided to join with Shadow and he's dumped away a ghost file. Now you may be thinking, why would he do that? I mean, doesn't he obviously work for Midas and all that stuff? But what if I told you that what was inside of those files actually made him want to not work for Midas anymore and actually planned on basically stopping Midas? Well, I also wanted to talk about Brutus and how his room actually leaked the future of Fortnite, but we haven't actually seen everything happen yet. So from behind the screen you can see that it's a picture of a camera. I'm gonna zoom in so you guys know what I'm talking about. So where is it? So, gonna zoom in. So, these pictures, I don't know how well you guys can see them, but it actually shows a picture of Brutus. It shows a picture of a camera showing that the agency is everywhere, they're spying on everything. And it also actually surprisingly shows a picture of Frenzy Farm on fire. Now you might be thinking, why is this going on? What is going on? Why is this all happening? Well, this is the thing. Brutus so Peely found out what was going on. He told Brutus not to actually trust Midas, and that he's not actually on the side he thinks that he's on. And then obviously Brutus questions Peely, and we know this because Brutus, with his great set of skills, he would have noticed that Peely was actually sneaking through the pipes and asked him, why are you spying on me? And he actually showed Brutus the truth about Midas, because, well, he told him not to trust him, and then Peely told him to look into the files to see if he can find anything. So Brutus obviously listened to Peely, and then Peely, Brutus looked into the files, and he saw what Midas was actually planning, which was the Doomsday device. And as we know, the Doomsday device is going to cause major destruction towards the island. So what does Brutus decide to do? He decides to join Peely, and they all decide to go to create an organization called the Shadow Organization and start up a whole thing against Midas. But then they actually told Lynx, and she decided to stop working for Midas. But it was already too late, because when Lynx went to go confront him and talk to him about the whole situation, Midas actually turned her into gold, along with Peely, because he realized that Peely was spying on him. But it was already too late, because Peely, as we already know, there are two of them, one from the Chapter 1 island and one from the Chapter 2 island. So, as we know, the storyline for the Chapter 1 Peely has now ended, and it's just starting for the Chapter 2 Peely. So, we know that those three were actually planning to overthrow Midas, but there's actually a bit more behind that whole story and everything. As we know, Brutus was actually working for Midas from the very start, because as you can see in this loading screen, Brutus and Peely were both agents that were pretending to be agents of Shadow. Agents of Ghost. And we know this because usually it would have a picture of multiple agents, such as Ghost and Shadow. But I believe that Peely is actually a member of Shadow, and he is just pretending to be a Ghost agent, so that way he can get to know all the secrets behind everything and stuff like that. So we've already described about how Brutus is a traitor, how Lynx tried to talk to Midas about it and got turned into gold, and also about how Peely doesn't trust Midas. But what if I told you that me Meowscles actually found out about what Midas was planning as well? Well, the closer we get to Doomsday, the more people actually don't trust Midas. And after all of this stuff happened, Midas decided to actually so I talked about in my previous video about how Midas got locked up. But what if Midas, since we know that he has lots of agents and everything, what if Midas actually locked up all of the Shadow agents instead of the other way around? So as we know, Peely decided to join Shadow, so he got locked up along with Brutus and everything like that, and that connects all the patterns of Chaos Agent escaping from Midas's clutches. And Peely, just before going to prison, told him to go and continue your plans of Doomsday by first breaking into the agency. As you can see from in the item shop, the loading screen where Chaos Agent is continuing his plan, going forward with his plans of what Peely told him to do. Since Peely is the whole mastermind of this whole operation. But so let me know what you guys feel about this theory in the comment section down below. And Also, Midas decided, because everyone was getting too close to his secrets, that he was slowly going to try and kick off everyone who works for him, which is why he tries to kill, well, he sends a ruthless killer known as Deadpool, which no one knew about, to go actually kill Meowscles. Then Meowscles realizes this, and he decides to turn into a shadow member, because, well, he knows that Midas sent someone to come kill him, so he decides to join, but he ends up getting locked up along with the rest of the shadow agents who were against his plans. And, well, the real question is, will Chaos Agent actually be able to stop Midas and his Doomsday plans, or is it already too late because of everything that has already happened in the storyline? Well, I don't know. Most likely they're not going to be able to stop Doomsday because, well, it's just happening tomorrow. Today, yeah. It's happening on Saturday, so I don't think that they're going to be able to stop it from happening. And, yeah. Let me know how you guys felt about that, about this whole video, about the Storm the Agency plans from yesterday, and also about connecting all the dots, which I've done in this video for you, so you don't have to. And we're going to go ahead and try to storm the agency right now. Once again, this is all just theories. There are no leaks confirming this, and Epic Games have not said that this is actually happening. But I'm just trying to connect all the dots because, once again, we haven't really gotten that much information about what is actually going on in the season, and about what Midas is actually up to, and how his influence is actually affecting all the other agents of Ghost. And it was only a matter of time anyway until someone actually realized what he was keeping in his files. So I'm just glad that someone actually decided to look in those and see what Midas was up to. Great, now I'm gonna have to do that. Also, yeah, that's all what I was going to talk about for this video. Just like a brief of everything.